Hello and welcome back to Checkpoint on Campus. Your two favorite hosts are still here, and Florida Tech has unveiled a new esports facility. So, Erica, what do we need to know?
This big announcement was made on August 25th, so only a couple of days ago, and I'm happy to say that their esports facility is quite impressive. We have mentioned a lot of esports facilities on here on this show because we love those. We love gaming rooms, so obviously we love esports facilities, but this one is a little bit different than others. And here is why they are different. Other than being created over their Funk Center for Textile Arts, the interior is already beautiful, and they have added a competitive stage and also a PC cafe. A freaking PC cafe! Not only is that just like a room for everyone to chill in and play games, but if you want to do competitive stuff, they have a competitive stage. It goes hand in hand. And besides the two things that I'm like obviously super excited for, they have over 40 games for you to play, and there's a set space for not only casual gaming but competitive gaming, so you can have like a casual team there and then a competitive team there, all in one freaking room. That's like heaven. That's heaven
That
to me.
that is a dream. So, first off, my gut feeling is the fact that this school has a Funk Center already makes this school one of the coolest in the country. I am so
Right.
happy that this detail came up with this esports facility. But here's what I want to talk about. So, what do you think about esports facilities? You just expressed a lot of positive notions about it. But do you think every school should have an esports facility at this day and age in collegiate esports?
I think if they're a college that's willing to put the funds and the efforts and the scouting for a really awesome collegiate team, yes, because it goes it starts becoming a problem when you don't provide a space for your players to actually practice in. It begins to personally, I'm not a professional gamer, okay? But when you have to rely on other sources or outside sources to fill the gap in something that you know your school should be providing, it's kind of a damper. And I think it's really awesome that schools that are focusing on esports are allowing their players to actually have a home to play their games. That's awesome to me, and it really shows that the facility and the faculty show and care for their students.
Yeah, so I want to be a little contentious here because I really don't think that we need esports arenas at most of our colleges. And I think that because most of these big tournaments don't even happen there. Most teams, when they go to compete, visit a neutral site and then they just go back home. I think the PC cafe direction is the way to go, to where the students can get involved, the teams can get involved. If there's a stage, cool. But the budget that goes into a whole arena that usually has 70 chairs. These schools are trying to get more than a couple hundred eyes on their games, so there's not even enough seats if they had people invited to come to the arena. So I think the budget for an arena would be better spent either making a bigger PC cafe, or it should be put towards their broadcasting booth, because
Oh,
that's where
definitely.
the eyes are going to come from. It's going to come from people watching it on Twitch.
I have a question for you since you brought up a really good point. If we don't, oh, well, you didn't necessarily don't need, but what would bring students to a college if they knew they already had an esports team? Like what would be the selling point for them? Because I think a lot of colleges start esports facilities or PC cafes because of the promise of a comfortable gaming home for their
Mhm.
esports players. So if not an esports facility, what can they make to maybe attract the attention of students who are looking to go into collegiate sports?
As someone who's not an athlete, given physically or electronically, I think what an athlete cares about the most when they're trying to figure out their next location or their next move is winning success and community. And a PC cafe checks both those boxes and maybe there's a special area for the team in there. And so when they are playing competitive games, there can be a camera looking on them, or you could even do something smaller than a full arena. I think that when the players go to that college, they're just looking for that community. So I think that the PC Cafe takes care of that. And if they have a great facility, then that will convince the players. It's like, okay, I can come here, I can get better at my craft with my teammates, and also meet a lot more people. I mean, do you think that an esports facility is a big draw to athletes these days?
I think if I'm fresh out of high school and I'm looking to start a professional esports career, that would be one of the main selling points for me. If I had already known besides having an awesome community to back me up with my games, like the facility is just a softening to that. It's like, okay, these are awesome people who are willing to give me the time of day to play games with me in a competitive sense and also in a casual sense, but also this school is offering an esports facility. That would make me as an incoming freshman or an incoming professional player be like, okay, this is a home for me that I can possibly see myself in.
Yeah, and so final question for this. Let's just kind of combine our ideas then. What do you think would be the best future for an esports facility? Like, what else could they add? What other aspect could be added to it? It doesn't even have to be esports related. It could be community related. But what could be added to an esports facility to like warrant the prices and warrant the size and warrant the effort put into the building?
That is a very, very good question because
I
I
mean,
think, oh, sorry, my bad.
no, no, no.
I think with the competitive stage, the PC cafe, and all of the games they're offering, they have created a baseline for like what's expected out of a facility. But I think it's more so of how can the faculty make that a welcoming place? Because if not so for the faculty or the people who are living or not living, playing in that and inhabiting that space, it's just an empty building. So what I
Yeah.
think can improve is just a more welcoming community, someone who opens their arms up to players who are incoming.
Yeah, and I agree with you. When I was thinking about the question I just asked you, what my mind went to was more of just making it a community hub, meaning also board games,
Oh
also
yes.
movies. I mean, like a building big enough to house all of it to where the individual parties don't bother the other. But I think that if they're already making a place for esport players or for the teams to play in, but it's also being made into a cafe that involves the community, then there should just be more things in there to get more members of the community in the room. And I personally hope that's the direction that it goes. We'll see. This esports facility does look awesome, and all the arenas that are already built are freaking awesome. Now that the world's coming back to normal, I hope that we can see more people in those arenas. That'd be a dream come true. But that is our show. So thank you very much for watching. We love you very much, and we hope that you have a fantastic week.